Do you want to make your own custom to-do lists using Photoshop Elements? I'll show you how in this video. Hi, I'm George, and we'll be doing a real fun graphics project here, doing a to-do list. I'll show you a couple different ways of doing lists in here. This one is using clip art, and I'll show you how to do this without having any clip art. We'll be doing quite a few different techniques in here, but we're sticking with just what we need for this one project. If you want to learn how to use the whole program, the best way to do that is with my complete training course. I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. Okay, we'll start off here by getting the graphics that we need. We have this picture right here and this picture over here. And I got both of these from Pixabay. Let me switch over to that website. And it's right here. It's a great site for getting free photographs and graphics. We'll be using this image right here. I have this link in the description, so you can go ahead and just download right from that link. And the one you want is the default size 1210 by 1280. That's a good size for our project. Just go ahead and download that to your hard drive. And same thing over here with this pencil. And download and then download that to your hard drive. Okay, so that's where the two graphics come from. Let's now go ahead and create this look. I'm just going to close this file down and we'll start off with a brand new file, File, New, Blank File. I have mine set at US paper size right there. Choose OK. And there's our paper size file. Now I'm flooding my documents, which is actually very useful in this one particular video. If you don't have that set up, go up here to Edit, come down to Preferences, and General, and make sure that this box right here is checked, Allow flooding documents in advanced mode. Normally that's not checked. Go ahead and check that one and choose OK. I'll also do a Control-0 to maximize this on our screen. Now floating documents, I can do this little trick. I can pull this down, float the document, and then just grab that image and drag it over here. And there we go. We bring it in that way. That's real easy. Let's go over here to this one. This is the pencil. I'll float this window, drag the pencil in, and there we go. Now the sizes are wrong here. We'll fix that. To make this project real easy, come down here to the Options panel and make sure you have Auto Select Layer checked. Normally I don't use that, but sometimes it's really useful, and this is one of those projects where it's a really useful thing to have. It automatically selects that layer for me and makes it very, very easy. Okay, let's just hide this pencil for right now. Let's get that out of the way. And I want to bring the size down here. When you click on this, you should see bounding box like that. If you don't, just use the Control-T keyboard shortcut and that will bring that up. Pull that up a bit. You can make these any size you want. I think right about here is pretty good for this. Over here where it says Layer 1 right side, right click and duplicate that layer. Choose OK. And just grab it and pull it over here. Well, let's do this. We have 5 of these. Duplicate layer and grab it down here. Right click, duplicate layer, and grab that one. Notice I'm always grabbing the one that is selected. That's the top one over here. Right click, duplicate layer, and choose OK. Now at this point, you can come in and decide to change the size if you want. I had these smaller on the sample image. It's got a little bit larger on this one. So I think having an overlap is kind of fun in there, just a little additional something. And here's where the auto select layer is really nice. You just click on an image like that and you can drag it around and put it anywhere you want to without having to go over and select that layer. So it's very, very useful for that. So that's our basic 5 to-do list pieces. Let's now change the background on this one. Come down here where it says graphics, and it should say by type and background by default. There's lots of backgrounds in here. Use anything you want. Lots of choices. I just chose this blue one down here. It's just a blue gingham pattern like that. If you want to try a few different ones, here's the trick for that. Go over to the Layers panel. The backgrounds change the background layer. So if you want to have a few to try in here, right-click on the background layer, choose Duplicate Layer, choose OK. Hide that one. Let's go back to our graphics. I'll just grab this one right here. There we go. Let's go back over to Layers. And you can see how this is now been changed to this lighter color. If you want to save this one, right-click on that, Duplicate Layer, choose OK. Hide that layer, back over to graphics again, and then choose something else. Let's try something totally different in here. I'll grab this one with some toy cars on it. There we go. Back to layers, and here's a new background. Now, if you want to see how these look, we have that one, we have this one, we have this one. So I can quickly go through and see how I like them just by clicking on the eye here to either show or hide a particular layer. And we'll stick with this one. Let's now put our top stuff in here. I want a little bit of space up here for a title, so let's just grab this. I'll pull this down just a little bit like that. And go over to our type tool. And in here, you want a large size typeface. I'm using this one right here. Ampen Bang, regular. I got this off of defont.com. It's a free typeface, but use any typeface that you like. That's perfectly fine. If you don't have these real large examples over here, which makes it very easy to see what you have, then go up here to edit, come down to preferences again. This time, come down to type right there. And in here, font preview size, set that to huge and choose OK. And that gives you these real big samples here. Again, making it very easy if you're looking for some specialty typeface. All right, I'll just click up here someplace. Now I'm in Photoshop Elements 2025, and that gives you this sample text up here. If you don't have 2024 or 2025, you won't have that. What you'll see is just an insertion point. So let me just delete that. And yours would look like this. Then just type in to do, and then position that wherever you want it. I'll put it right about center, like that looks pretty good, I think. Let's bring back in our pencil, and then grab the corner. I'll bring that pencil size down, and just put that in as just a little bit of an accent. Let's now have some fun with the colors in here. Let's click on a layer like that. It takes you to that layer. Go up to layer, come down to new adjustment layer, and hue saturation. Check that checkbox, choose OK, and then push the hue just a little ways over, and you can change that color. Notice I can go any color I want to in here. Just a bit more green like that. Close that one down. Let's come down to this layer right here. Same thing. Layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation. Again, check that checkbox, choose OK. Let's push it a little bit further this time. We're into the blue area. Notice how both the push pin and the paper are changed in the colors. Let's make this one kind of an orangey color. Layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation. Same thing, check that checkbox, choose OK. Let's push this one to the left this time. A bit more orange. There we go. If you want it a bit brighter, just bring in some saturation on that. And then our final one down here, push this more towards the pinks or purples. Layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation. Check that checkbox, choose OK. And go a bit further. And there we go, just kind of a nice magenta color right in there. Okay, that's real easy as you saw, and real fun, just fun little to-do list. If you want to be a bit more regimental on this, maybe you want to have something a bit more business looking, whatever, it's up to you. Let's first save this file, File and Save. I'll put it into my graphics folder, and I'll call it To-Do List 2, and choose Save. There we go, that's taken care of. Let's now go up here to File, New, Blank File. Still at the US paper size, choose OK. Let's dock this one. There we go, Control 0 to fit screen. And if you want to have boxes in here that are a bit more standard, that aren't those kind of fun papery boxes, go over here to your shape tool, and then come down here to the options, click on the second option. This is your rounded rectangle. Let's change our shape here. I'll put this back at yellow again, just for something to have on here. Set the settings at unconstrained. And normally this pulls from the upper left-hand corner, so it's pulled down like this. Now it's a little slight rounded corner on that. That's not big enough. Control Z to undo that. Let's make that a lot bigger. Let's try 50. And let's pull that again. And that's better. Nice rounded corners on that. You can go as big as you want. If you want to be even fancier on that one, let's just go back here to the tool again. Let's set this to 100. And you can get real large rounded corners. Again, personal preference on this. I kind of like that one. Let's just get rid of this other one here. I hit the delete key and remove that. So here's our rounded corners. Now this will work best, of course, with a colored background in here, but you may also want to put an outline on that. That's fine. For that, go up to Layer, come down to Layer Style, Style Settings, and let's do a stroke. And I'll put this at 2 pixels, choose OK, just a little thin black line. Now if I zoom in to full size, you'll see that line is better there. There we go, just a little thin line. You can control that thickness if you want to. Let's go back over here to our shape layer, double click where it says FX, brings back up this box. Let's change this to a 5 and just a bit thicker. If you want a drop shadow in here, let's go back up to the effects and click on drop shadow right there. I like to have mine over here towards the upper left-hand corner most of the time. And then you can adjust your opacity in here. The distance is right there. And the size is how soft the edge is. So normally I'll bring it out just a little bit like that. I think that looks pretty good. If you want more of these, as soon as you do it on the last to-do list, right click on this, duplicate layer, choose OK, and there's your new layer. Control 0 to fit screen, and just go in and make more of these until you have as many as you want for your to-do list. Everything else stays the same. And of course, Don't forget to toss in a new background on that. Let's put this one in here. There you go, kind of a paper background. And we also can change the color on these the same way. Go up to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Hue Saturation. Check that checkbox, choose OK, and we'll give that a different color. If you want it lighter, just grab your lightness control here and pull it in, make it a bit more of a pastel. So there you go, kind of a fun graphics project. It's good just for at home or for hobbyists, or you also can make things a bit fancier looking or a bit more regimented looking if you want this for a business use. It's really up to you. Don't forget that I have that complete course on how to use Photoshop Elements. The link is in the description. Make sure you hit that like button for this video if you enjoyed this. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe so you don't lose my channel, and I'll see you next time.